Hello, it's Jane. Welcome back. This is a follow-on of the video I did just before to deal with healthcare systems in the UK. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you what my job entailed at the very start. At the very start, when I did my 6 months training, and maybe for the first 2 years, I mainly worked in elderly care wards, but I currently work in A&E, which is a bit different from elder care. So in elderly care ward, where I was working, is patients who do not have acute medical issues, but those have been resolved, but they're still in hospital, maybe because they need physiotherapy, or maybe they're waiting for a social bed, a nursing home bed, or they need to go to an intermediate bed before they can get back home. So it's kind of like a mini nursing home in the hospital. So that was what the job is. So I just talked through what I did from morning to evening. So when I get there in the morning, get there for 7:30, the shift ends at 8 at night. So that is 12 hours paid with half an hour break, which is now paid. Uh, I was paid, when I was training for 6 months, I was paid the same rate as when I finished. So when I get there is help the patients get up because breakfast is at 8 o'clock. So it's getting literally waking people up and making sure they're sat upright, ready to have breakfast. Then just before 8 o'clock is feeding people, making sure people got cups of tea, their cereal, porridge, whatever is on offer. There's no toast or cooked meal and unless they're on a special diet. Then after, and then it's literally helping people who cannot feed themselves with the feeding. Then clear up that, and then the first order of business is to help people get out of bed and help them with washes. So quite a few of them just need a bowl with water, give them a towel and help them figure out what they're wearing. But there's a few people who need an actual bed bath. A bed bath means giving somebody a wash on the bed. It's not like flooded water, but on the other hand, it needs to be wet enough that you have to change the bed sheet. It's not a wipe down. And then after that, ideally, all the patients should be sat out if they can, because if they're not sat out, that actually is an issue because they lose muscle and then it becomes hard for them to be independent. So it's very important to help the patients out of bed. There's actually research which shows the longer, 10 days of being in bed for an older person, they lose muscle equivalent to almost a year. So it's quite important to get them out of bed. And then it's helping the nurses with whatever needs to be done. And by the way, throughout the day, if somebody needs a toilet, you help them. So toilet, it depends. Somebody you might just direct them where the toilet is. Some other people you need to literally walk with them to the toilet and then leave them there and they'll press the buzzer when they're ready to come out and you'll walk them back. Others you need to actually help them with the toilet paper and the whole business. And there are people who cannot walk to the toilet. You need to give them a bedpan if they can sit out. Or the people who are in bed and then you might need to give them a bedpan and help clean up. And then these people who are incontinent, they cannot control when they wee and when they poo. So you've got keep checking them regularly just to clean up because you don't, if they soil, then they're gonna get wounds. And then that happens whatever time needs to happen. So it used to be set time, you do it before dinner, and then you do it before tea time, and then before you leave. But if somebody needs to go to the toilet, whatever time, you help them to that. It's for their own dignity. Then you'd help the nurses whatever needs happening if there's wait. So a lot of patients need to be weighed. It's just the nature of how medication is prescribed in UK, but also for heart failure patients, then you need the daily weights happening because you want to know if they're retaining more water in the body than they should. So that needs to happen. It's usually once every 7 days, so there might be weights you need to do. If somebody is on a daily weight, you do that. And then you'd help clear up the ward, so make beds, make sure the ward, the bay you're looking after is tidy. And then if there's visitors coming, it's kind of helping with that. And you help out with each and every meal times. Um, and if somebody needs to run to the pharmacy for medication, you might be asked to do that. So there was a lot of that that is generally what happened. It is a busy job, I'm not gonna lie. So I had to wear one of them compression socks every time I went on shift, because prior to that I worked in an office, so I had never been on a job where I was on my feet a lot. But I preferred to have my 3 days together, then I would have my 4 days off together. Then it's better for my lifestyle that way. And so yeah, that's what I did as a healthcare assistant working in um, an elderly care